Because once the child turns 5 and is in the school system, they take over. Much younger, from 0 to 5, is the early intervention that does that. So it's like a transition planning into the child going into school.
Okay.
So I had to also plan like IEP meeting, even though that they could be very difficult, and if you don't know the right thing to say, the right services to require for your child, they won't give. You'll be denied.
Yeah.
I had to, and I've been doing it for other people's family. So I kind of like, when we go for this meeting, we'll say this, we'll say that. When they give a report, anything we don't like, we say no. Say that. So I've been doing that for a long time, and apparently helping other families too.
Yeah.
But when it came to the turn of my own child, it was kind of different. You get this emotional attachment to you, like. And when they're reading stuff to you, like, she doesn't do this. And at home, you see a different thing with this child. She's actually making good progress at home than in school. So we've had to, fight that journey for a long time. School districts, write letters, requiring for like a private meeting before the main IEP meeting.
So on my part, I'm not going to say too much. Obviously, I was very emotional when all of this was, and I was in denial. What's wrong with my child? And I remember saying that, and remember Yinka telling me, "Oh, all these parents, when we talk to them about this situation, they're always in denial. They're like, there's nothing wrong, or okay, now we know there's something wrong. What's the cure? Don't you just do this or give them some medication and everything?" And those were things that kind of bothered me at the beginning. And by the time she started telling me, okay, this is how you do things, this is how you talk to her, this is what you do with her, it started making sense. And if we didn't tell you, if no one told you, you wouldn't know we went through anything like that with Olivia. And I just give thanks, to God for that situation. The fact she knew about it. It was a field she worked in, and I still remember all the mornings when we'll have to wake up very early to go to all these walks and all that. In those days, I was like, what is all this nonsense? Wake up at 6 in the morning, get the kids ready, get there very early. But all of these things have paid off. And when you actually see the effect of what these walks are doing, the money that is being raised and how it's being used to help different people.
And the awareness.
And the awareness that's been created, like, for instance, you have said what you said now with regards to your own son, and you know exactly what is going on, out there, what people are going through. And when you think about, okay, you're privileged enough to have the services we have for our kids, and you think of those people that have nothing, and they have kids that have issues, they have kids that have mental issues, and it's just heartbreaking when you think of situations like that, as to how will they get served. And it just makes you thankful.
I know you are doing something in this space, so tell us about it, Yinka, because I know that advocacy is the biggest thing, right? Because first of all, you're dealing with the fact that this is your child, in terms, so the emotions, like Folarin said, around that is still so deep, and you then have to dig into this to make sure that the child gets what they need in a school system that is honestly not designed for them, right? So I know you work in this space, so tell us about it, because I want people to be able to reach out to you after this. So tell us.
So there's a part I still carry in me. I think that was the initial day for the assessment for Olivia, when she had a when she was, I think, 9 months. It's not required, but because I had to push on the buttons in Philadelphia for them to do it. And I think I still go back, even in my quiet time, I always still remember the day at CHOP, next Drexel, when we were waiting for the assessment. And, the look on my face, like the argument I had with the clinician, like, why are you telling me, this is my job? Even when the part of me was like, Yinka, yes, there's something going on, I still argue with the guy. I just stuff line, let's go, trying to ignore it, and I was in denial. But I didn't let that last so long. Just like 30 or 30 minutes. But then I go back, I'm like, okay, Folarin, what's next? And I mean, that's always been my motto, like anything, like, okay, so what's next? So I carried that with me through my patient with other families, parents I meet, when I sit with them, and I have to do a real ADOS 2. ADOS 2 is autism diagnosis, which I do to actually give kids the diagnosis. And I was kind of prepared to also be their therapist.
Yeah.
Tell them, okay, based on what, very careful with my words, based on my calculation, based on based of your child, this is what it's coming to. I try to avoid, oh, this child has this. I'm like, based on calculation, this is what I'm saying. And immediately I'm like, oh, and this is what we have to do. Like now, no, let's do it right now. So let's do this, So I've lived with that for a long time, and I've carried that with me. And I said for like, I just don't want to be the clinician who sits down in a fancy office and people come in with their kids, I do the assessment, all this chat. I said, I want to do more. I want to do more than, even if I won't be paid for it. I just feel like part of me, this part of my calling, to do it, because I've been through that, the journey. So I created a non-profit organization, NGO.
Okay.
It's called DCN.
Okay.
Which is
Developmental Care Network.
Okay.
And our goal was helping parents to thrive, or helping parents to help the kids. Make it very simple. So it's not only about the child. I'm giving the diagnosis. It's also about the parents. And I just believe that if you don't empower the parents, they cannot help that child. No matter how much therapy you give that baby, speech, OT, if you don't sit the parents down first and talk to them and give them hope and make them believe like, this is just a phase, this child will get better. That child, no, nothing you can do. So I believe strongly in like, helping the parents first. The diagnosis, like, okay, this is what's happening, this is what's next, and eventually, I think that has been helping a lot of parents, and that kind of made me decide, like, even though I'm still a therapist and a clinician, I also like to work with the parents of these children, not only autism, but also like ADHD. Like, I like to work with them, make them to understand that the resources out there, the things they can do, help. They can actually teach other family members how to, be around their children. The issue of like, hiding the child, covering up. You don't have to do that. You have to have that from like, if you can, deal with my rules around my child, then you're not welcome here.
Not welcome. Yeah.
They have to be able, to stand up for their child and say, my child is going through this. I need time and space. If you can't be along with me, then you're not invited. I mean, it takes a lot. You're gonna lose friends, some family, but you're doing this for your child, because that child can't do anything more than that. You have to be the one, the forerunner for that child in all these things. So my non-profit organization has been working on that. I partner with other community resources and agencies, and then we get resources for the family. So when I have when parents come to the clinic where I work and I see they're struggling, I'm like, okay, I have a non-profit. And when they call me, I sit them down. Most of the time, it's always the IEP for the school, because it's now 4 and going to 5. And once they turn to 5 and the school district is trouble, they will not accept any other therapy, any treatment. It has to be a brand new one. And it's strange because you have a child in your school who you hardly know, but they make up these, goals. They make up these stories about them, which mostly is always negative. Always negative, In a way, it's kind of a requirement to get the diagnosis for them to be, but it's wrong. So I teach parents that, you know your child better. Put your child at home and write them down, write everything down, and take it back to the school and say, I'm sorry you're saying this to my child in school, but these are my child. Sometimes I even tell them to record these short videos. I make people, do short videos of that child, and share with the child to like, do you know you're doing this? I'm give encouraging words. I love what you're doing. Take that video back to school, to any IEP meeting or any meeting you have, and show them like, well, he's doing this. Or you can even teach them, this is how I want you to treat my child. This is how I want you to teach my child. The child has constant meltdown, due to diagnosis. There should be a resource room where that child should go to. If you don't say all these things, they're gonna keep calling your phone every time like your child is bad, come back to this child home. And that happens a lot. Like they will keep calling you, like, to the child home. So based on my own experience with my own child, that enabled me, that made me like I needed to do something out there. for that period. We've had a non-profit for like almost 8 years now. 8 years. I try not to belong to any of these for-profit organization because mine is non-profit, and so when I get funding, so I'm not liable to another company. And I also base my own experience based on my past. Because apart from being a clinician, I'm on both sides of the world. I'm also a mother with a child, and I'm also a clinician living with a child. And I think when I meet with them, I tell them that that opens doors more. Very comfortable with me when I'm telling my story. Like, oh no, okay, you're in denial. That's fine. You can think about, but don't wait too long. Wait so long. This child is going down.
For our viewers, I have her details scrolling underneath here on the screen right now, and they'll also be at the end of the video, so you guys can reach out and contact her. Just continue on this. I had a personal note for you. Did the other kids ever feel that
too much attention?
Special attention? Did they get kind of jealous?
Definitely.
Initially they did. Initially, and Vinny being the middle child at times always adds you're let me see. You don't like me as much. That's
when he was much younger.
But as he, started growing older, I started understanding, okay, this is the reason why this is done like this. But I think it was more of like a middle child syndrome thing. It wasn't that he felt different or he felt that he was being treated differently. And they've come to understand it fully. And with the fact that they've gone on walks with us, they've seen different programs that Yinka does, and that we all go as a family to do this. They now understand better that there's a problem here,
but
being able to work on it, and then they see other kids with much more serious situations, and they understand that we're doing something here. Plus, Yinka talking about the advocacy she does, the non-profit. What I like about what she does is the fact that she involves the whole family, and then she makes them bring in even their friends. And the importance of this is the fact that kid is seeing that attention from everybody. And when I say attention, I'm not saying that they're treating them differently. No,
I know what you mean.
But pulling them in, letting them be involved, letting the parents be involved in the care of their children, making the parents the advocate of the children. Those are the important things, because no one else is going to advocate for your child the way you would. And that is very important for anyone that's going through this kind of situation. And another thing I love that she does is the fact that she makes them understand, I'm not bringing any cure here. I'm not performing any miracles. We are following different steps to get these children to a level where, to some extent, they're able to stand by themselves, able to be independent.
Build life skills for the
That
future.
is what we're trying to do. We're not preferring any, thesis here that's going to make your child better tomorrow. No. We're just going to give them the tools they need to be able to go out there and at least participate.
And I think the best part of this community outreach for the kids is the one we did at the zoo, the Detroit Zoo, and Olivia was actually part of the committee on the table. Like when kids would walk to the table, she would show them like what to do, and I think there was a time I felt like, oh wow, like okay, she knows what's going on. She invite kids over to our table. She called them over, and then she showed them things to do and all that. So even doing that from a very early age helped her with her social skills. Had to open up more, and even when she sees other people that that have the same diagnosis, like she doesn't feel like she's so easygoing with them. Even the younger one, Sophia, like she did face painting for a bunch of kids community. Even Vincent, and I'm trying to groom Vincent to follow my line of business, hopefully, because he loves children. He's very good. Very patient. He's the one who spend the whole day with Olivia, playing with her, and he understands that. I think it's good to always bring Everybody
get everybody involved.
involved.
I mean, Vincent and Olivia still run up and down the house. Playing tag and all of those kind of things, even up till yesterday.
Like sounds by I need to be playful with her. Be available for her.
I can't tell you how much what you're doing really resonates, because I have some friends and they tell me many times that you have this what did she say? You don't treat children differently, and my answer was, I've grown up around this, right? I have this running in my family, and to me it is what it is, right? I feel like obviously not everybody can have that mindset. And so it's, why would you treat one child differently than the other, right? Obviously, I've always had a social justice mindset around treating people the same, right? So in this case, it's not any different. So with the children, like you said, and that's why I like how you said you're bringing everybody along with them. When they see the the meltdown, I just explain. I'm like, they can communicate. This is their way of communicating. Like, you are helping them realize that, okay, this is just part of that child's life, right? It may not be everybody's life, but that child's life, and you have to understand and go with the flow, because many times people say it's the ostracization or the social ostracization that really gets, because people don't understand at all, and they don't teach their children to understand. So I feel like the education part and bringing everyone along, right, is what to me really adds depth to this kind of thing.
Because I know my kids are not going to go out and see a child that probably maybe is on the spectrum or has some issues, and they start looking and staring. You understand straight away there's something going on here.
And they know how to communicate.
Exactly, and they're empathetic. To the situation. Unlike, you see some other kids staring, asking like, what's wrong with them?
I mean, I like what you said about educating the parents. I think I haven't heard that before, but I think that's crucial, because a lot of times this issue can fracture families, fracture relationships, actually. But from this, what you're telling me, you've not just thrived through it, it has actually made your union stronger. A question I have though, some families are worried about finances, like, this is going to, I don't know what to do, this is going to fracture, just like a death sentence. Are there any specific resources out there to help families with this? I mean, I'll refer them to you, but I'm just wondering, as in, someone just gets this diagnosis, you are trying to overcome the denial. What's your go-to? What's the first thing that you would say, okay, what's the first thing you would advise someone to do if they just got the diagnosis?
Okay, so the best part of this is the community behavioral health services, which I believe every county, every city, they have one. It's the best place to go to. I think it will be under IDD, which is intellectual disability for kids with autism, not with social emotion, but autism, IDD. There is no fee, like they don't charge a dime, to get the child assessed or say the treatment plan. No, it's free. You just need to know where to go. So most depending on where you live, look out for community behavioral health service. Go in and do an intake and let them have the child in. The only time where money comes in is when you want to provide more services. When you want to have like a private speech therapy, private OT, all those private things, that your insurance, will not, they have to pay out of pocket. But once you have your child given a diagnosis of autism, automatically they get Medicaid. So that covers the treatment. Most parents don't know that, it doesn't matter if you're making like, 6, 7, 8 figures. Once that child in the family has a diagnosis, really, they get that insurance cover to take care of them. And they have all the, again, so based on where you're living. Based on the community, on the zip code, determine how much you can get back for the child. They have all the services under that, which is covered under the insurance. Now, some people want more for their kid. Like when we had Olivia, I think she was covered immediately under Medicaid for those treatments. That's why we had the therapists come to the house. Maybe that's not enough because they only come once a week. And we had more. So we went to did therapy in Springfield area. We had speech therapy, which she goes to like 2 or 3 times a week. And I think some other things that we're now paying for because we wanted, process to be fast, right? Because our own speech therapy from the district was going to see her once a week at the school. That wasn't enough. So it depends on what you want for your child. But really, once you have a diagnosis, I always say that, take time and look at the area where you live, school district. All these things determines, the value of the services the child will get. Very important. I've had families who have to move away to a zip code that offers more just for the child. Yes, I've had families do that. I've had families who like moving with another family member in a better serving in the community that offers for the child. There is, but really it's covered by the community mental health, community behavioral health. They cover the treatment and everything. Now, the part that could be cited is the ABA. And ABA is applied behavioral analysis. That is the integrated part of autism treatment most people receive for the child. Some might want more for the child. It's covered under insurance, but if you want more, then again, some people they have to outsource, go to a different county that offers them more than just 1 hour. I think the billing really is like 2 hours per week or so, but someone like every day for the child. So you have to work around it. So there's gonna be changes when you get that diagnosis. It's something you have to sit down and plan because it's not just now. It's a long time for that child. Wow. It's not just like I'm gonna do 5 weeks now and then. No, so you have to go through them until they get the part where you're teaching them now life skills, because there's gonna be a part where you want to step back and make them live their life. You can't really hold their hands all through. So you have to start working on it now. Like, okay, let me start preparing them for when I'm not available.
I mean, like Yinka said, the earlier you start, the better, first and foremost. Second of all, you have to be involved in your child's care. Some parents like, I don't know what to do. Yeah, there's Google there. Go and Google. Please ask questions from people that you meet. Look for groups that are, geared towards this situation that your kids are facing. Talk to people. Network. Those are the only ways you can find information. Apart from coming from like Anthony that can give you some information or resources, you still have to do this by yourself. You cannot wait for anyone to do it for you. By yourself meaning, okay, in my situation, I thank God that Yinka was there to be able to figure out a whole lot of things, because at the end of the day, I'll just tag in along. This is what we're going to do now, and this is what we're going to do now, because she knows that terrain better.
Yep.
So she says this, even if in as much as at times I'm like, I really don't feel like doing this. Is it going to make things better? Let's go ahead and do it. But we're going to wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning because we have to go for this walk.
Oh boy, this walk.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's pack all the stuff we need to pack. All of those things. For some men will not want to do that. Let's face back. Let's face facts. Some parents will not want to go through all of these things. But if you need your child to be better, if you need your child to stand by themselves, then you have to do what you have to do to make it happen. You heard about people moving from one zip code to another because they want to get services for their kids. It's because of this, nothing else. It has to be a total thing. Everybody has to be, all hands have to be on deck. If you any kind of progress.
And so that's why my non-profit focuses more on undeserved population. I call them my favorite children in Detroit. Even though they do qualify for Medicaid, but they come from dysfunctional families where the parents are not around. They do something and other issues. So what happens to these children? They're already in real bad neighborhoods. You can't get treatment. So those are the people I focus on a lot of time. I do free assessment for them, do free education, do free treatment plan, check on them and all that. So I think I think I'm always very fulfilled when I do that more. But like those who know they cannot afford it, I kind of I watch the progress too a long time. All these yinka children, have so many kids out there. Like
we're driving down the street and like, oh, I have a kid in that.
I know.
There's another one in that street. Like, okay, and this is all the way from Philadelphia. Wow. Whenever we drive through any neighborhood, like maybe we go to like those really great neighborhoods. I have you come here too,
and they always terrify when I'm like, what happened to me? Like real bad neighbor. I'm like, they know me. I'm not, because I keep feeling like the thing is that when I go to those neighborhoods, like they already know, like, oh, they even call me, oh, our therapist is there. They know you're there for a good reason.
Them. Yeah,
they love you. So I'll park my van outside. I come out, I see like maybe like 3 or 4 guys, either they're like cleaning the tires or they're funding the car, and it's all good. Like, oh, thank you. And people will be like so afraid of them. Like, I don't want someone to shoot. Like, no,
they know who you are.
Yeah, and I've been doing that for years. So when I take my friend, like, let's just drive down to my neighborhood and like,
yep,
you go here, you do. I'm like, yeah.
For the love of the work. So exactly. I mean, let me tell you, people have to come back. I'm gonna ask you one final question, but you have to come back because I feel like this whole episode was dedicated to, Autism Month and what you do. But I want to ask you about your values, right? Just in one sentence or two. I've heard it come out, but I want to hear it from you in terms of the values you have as a family or as a couple that have sustained you all these years in doing life together and doing this kind of work together. So just tell us.
One word that I think should describe us is consistency.
Intention.
But like that's mine. You got it from.
You're together here. Don't worry.
Well, you know why I said that?
Yeah.
It's something that didn't resonate with me before.
Yeah.
Until I went through some issues, around COVID and all of that. And
okay. That's true.
I had to understand what it means to do things intentionally, not just because I want to do it or because supposed to.
Well, wait, I was always telling you, like, for now, you have to be intentional. So
that's why I'm saying, I'm not denying that fact. What I'm saying is that understanding it, through COVID, made me see what it meant to be intentional when you do things. And another thing is, if you're going to do anything, just do it well.
Do it well.
Excellent.
All the way, minute.
So if you can't do it well, then it's not worth doing at all.
Yeah.
And yes, it's a difficult thing because some people want to cut corners and stuff like that. But if it's not worth doing, don't do it. You do it from your heart. Mean and own it. Don't just do it because you want to do it.
Yeah.
Because of people say, this isn't the best thing to do, the right thing to do.
Yeah.
What do you think within yourself?
Yeah.
What, are you doing for fulfillment or what?
Which also goes back to Autism Awareness Month. Every family with kids on the spectrum, like for saying, to be intentional. Just don't do it because I have to do this. You have to have a long-term goal, not just like this child. Not I'm going to fix this child right now, or I'm going to keep looking. Plan. Have a long-term plan. Like when this child becomes a teenager, it's going to be a different ball game. Hormones, all those things that you start seeing a new child. So plan for those things ahead of time. And I say constant because like you start something now with that child. Don't let whatever circumstances hold you down from continuing. Because you stop the service, you stop the treatment, it's going to lapse and you see it. Whole you really want to see. So I think it's very important. Intentional, you're right.
Yeah. I think the same, what goes for that goes for marriage, right? Intentionality, putting your mind in it, consistency, right? And whatever you're doing, do it well. If you're going to do this marriage, do it well.
Times you have to do
both are the epitome of that.
What's happening?
Being intentional. It's not an easy thing. Let's face facts. Let's face facts.
Yeah.
Doing anything well is not easy.
Oh yeah.
You have to work at it every day.
To train yourself.
Every day, believe me. And it's same thing in marriage. an ongoing process.
Yeah.
If anyone told me I'll be here today,
oh yeah,
let's face it, I should probably have been in the rubbish heap somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
but
Consistency, as it says, working hard at it every day, even when it hurts.
Yeah.
And I think that's the part where I like we both have to come to the table together and talk.
And yep.
Talk to, like I see my kids, I do it for like to like, we have to talk.
Yeah.
Not coaching, but just talking like, this is what I don't like.
Yeah.
In mind, like, this is how I want you to treat me. This is how you involve me, you know.
Yeah.
Mind, soul, body. This is how I want you to touch me, you know. If you don't express yourself, like, then it's like you're losing. You're like,
I don't believe men are
don't because you remind me like 20 years ago. I called him my forever boyfriend.
Yeah.
You know, don't know that baby. Like, you know, we use names like when he calls me, what do you call me? Like so sexy.
Whatever you want.
Antonia.
I just say Antonia or
Antonia.
But the thing is this.
So you have to be considered. Like, don't say
it has to be there.
Mama Sophia, you know, Mama Vincent. Okay, I'm right.
So you're one of those glamours. You're gonna be glamour. I love it. Love it.
It leaves a sparkle in your marriage, you know. There's something you look forward to. I was like, I want to look forward to something. You know,
that's another one of the difficult things.
Oh yeah, I want to let me know 1 month from now. You're gonna do this to me. You know, it keeps because you're thinking about it. You're happy.
Yeah.
Not boring.
I love.
Yeah, exactly. No.
There you guys have it, the Lawrences, bucket loads of information.
Yep.
I am going to, the information is scrolling at the bottom to reach out. It's Autism Month, and it can, it doesn't have to be a death sentence.
Yeah.
You know, it can actually bring a sparkle into your relationship.
Closer.
Your family.
Yeah.
So from our couch to yours, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you again next time. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
And the Lawrences will be back. We can assure you of that.
Thank you.
Let me stop.